I saw something on TikTok recently where they were going through your favorite tropes, and they said, is fake dating your favorite trope because you feel like people have to pretend to like you in order to be with you? And I felt personally called out by that. Hi, welcome, come on in. My name is Aoife, and today I am going to take you through some of my favorite books with the fake dating trope. I am an absolute sucker for a fake dating trope, for people who are for any reason in particular pretending to date each other or to be married or anything like that, whether it's for personal gain or financial gain or in the workplace. I am obsessed with it. There are a couple that I have already checked out, and there are, of course, loads of them that are on my TBR still to come. So if there's any that you can also recommend to me, please let me know below. The first one that I'm going to recommend is Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. This is the second book in the Brown Sisters series. It follows Get a Life, Chloe Brown, and it precedes Act Your Age, Eve Brown. So as you can tell from the title, this follows the middle sister, Dani. She is a PhD student and she's working in a university in a research lab. One day she is in a lift that gets stuck and she's in there with the security guard of the building named Zaf. Zaf is a rugby player, he is a romance reader, and he is basically everything I've ever wanted in a man. So he is by far my favourite of the three heroes from the Brown Sister trilogy. When the lift comes back to order, Zaf carries Dani out of the lift and this picture goes viral. It absolutely explodes on social media, and Zaf and Dani kind of take this as an opportunity to really boost themselves and their careers, and they decide to fake date each other and really take on the hashtag of Dr. Rugby, which is really starting to go around after this. Zaf really needs it because he's trying to get a kind of a rugby business started up on the side, and he feels like all of this notoriety in a good way is going to really help him to get it off the ground. Whereas Dani just really wants to get her dick wet. I really, really enjoyed this book. It has, like a lot of Talia Hibbert books, some really great, really well-written, steamy scenes. It also has some really great representation. Zaf here is Muslim. His father has passed away, so he's also dealing with the bereavement that comes with that. As with her sister, Dani is also plus size, so you do get to see some really great plus size representation in here too. This is probably my favourite of the trilogy, and I think if there was any of them that I would go back and reread, it would probably be this one first, even though it's not the first book in the series, and it's a really great fake dating trope as well. Next is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood, and on TikTok you cannot turn around and not bump into this book. It is absolutely everywhere. I read this as a buddy read with two of my friends back in February, and all three of us absolutely fell in love with this book. It's really well written. It's got really great characterization. There are a couple of things that we did all raise our eyebrows a little bit at, but overall I really enjoyed this one. You're following another PhD student in this one. Her name is Olive and she is working in, again, a research lab. And one of her friends, Anne, is really interested in Jeremy, with whom Olive has been on a couple of dates before, but she didn't really get a spark. She didn't see anything happening between them. Olive is trying to convince Anne that, yes, it's okay for you to go out with Jeremy. I'm not really that upset about it. I'm not going to be salty about it. So to kind of try and hammer the point home, Olive basically just launches herself on the first person that passes her. So this person that she has ended up kissing is Adam, who's one of the research fellows of the university where Olive is studying. And he's got this reputation as a kind of a cold, unapproachable, kind of distant person. And it's a real grumpy sunshine book as well. So if that is another trope that you're interested in, it's got a tandem one that you are really going to enjoy. Again, this book has got some really great steamy scenes, and the reason for the fake dating is really genuinely put together well. Olive obviously needs it so that she can continue to convince her friend Anne to go after Jeremy, while Adam needs it because the university faculty are getting a little bit concerned that he's a bit of a flight risk and that he's going to transfer to another university and have frozen his grant. So if Adam is shown to have a girlfriend here that is going to anchor him to the university for a bit, maybe they'll bring his funding back in. As I said, it's got really great steamy scenes. It's got a really great kind of friendship between Olive and Anne that I really enjoyed reading. I know that this started off as a kind of a Reylo fanfiction, but I am not very big into the Star Wars universe, so I've never actually read any of that. But if you can kind of separate from that as well, it's still a really great book. Next is probably the one that started the whole obsession over fake dating for me, and that is The Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I read this in, I think, May of 2020 when traveling was definitely not a thing anymore. And it's set in Hawaii, so that kind of escapism really drew me into the book as well. Again, you're following a woman named Olive, whose twin sister Amy has just gotten married, and Amy is, without doubt, the luckiest woman that Olive has ever met. Every competition she wins, every promotion she gets it, everything just kind of falls into her lap for her, except at their wedding reception. Everybody, except for Olive and the groom's brother Ethan, have eaten at a seafood buffet and ended up getting food poisoning, including the bride and groom. They were meant to go on a honeymoon to Maui. It was all expenses paid. It couldn't be cancelled. And now, because they are basically living in their bathroom, they can't go anywhere. Because Olive and Amy are identical twin sisters, they decide that Olive is going to go on the honeymoon and that Dean's brother Ethan is going to join her to kind of keep the ruse up. Not only are they fake dating for that reason, when they actually get to Maui, they accidentally bump into the boss where Olive has just done an interview, and they have to keep this fake dating facade up for a little bit longer than they were expecting. It's also got a there was only one bed scene, if you are into that one, and it's got a really steamy massage scene that has lived rent-free in my head since I've read it. I really enjoyed watching Olive and Ethan realise that they didn't actually hate each other as much as they thought the other did, and I really loved watching their relationship thaw out throughout this book. It was the first of Christina Lauren's books that I had ever read, and I still recommend this to all of my friends and anybody who's looking to get into their books as the perfect way to start out with their collection. Next up is one that fits fake dating so well, it actually put fake dating into the title. This is Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagadar. It came out last year and it is a wonderful, sapphic YA love story set in Dublin, which is just something that will draw me into a book straight away. You are following Hani and Ishu, who, for different reasons, have to fake date each other. Hani, because she has just come out to her friends as bisexual, and they are really not on board with this. They keep thinking that she's faking it, that she's just doing it for attention. She's never had a girlfriend or had interest in any women before, so they're not really sure why she's done it now. Ishu, because she's running for student body president or class president, or some kind of authoritative role in the classroom that she just wants to have Hani on board with her because Hani is quite popular, and if the two of them are seen together, it might drum up a little bit more support for Ishu. This book follows two Muslim main characters, and I really loved seeing that. I love reading about Bangladeshi culture. I love reading about how that could kind of tie in with Irish culture. There's a lot of references to Bengali in this book. There's a lot of references to Bangladeshi culture, which is obviously something that Adiba is quite familiar with, having grown up in Bangladesh and moved to Ireland when she was maybe 10 or 11 years old. It's also got quite a lot of stories about family commitments, about the pressure and responsibilities that they can put on you, especially when you're coming from a culture like that. And I really loved reading and learning about those. Like I said, it's a YA book. It's very sweet. There is not a whole lot of steam in this book at all. And it is a really great one to give to any teenager who is exploring their sexuality and also starting to get into romance books. Another great YA book with fake dating in it is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. This follows Lara Jean, who has written 5 love letters to all of the boys that she has fallen in love with, but never actually sent them out. She kept them in a hat box that her mother gave her, and she kept that at the end of her wardrobe and never looked at it again. Until one day she comes home from school and all 5 of the letters have been sent out, posted to their intended recipients, and all hell has broken loose. One of the intended recipients was Peter Kavinsky, who is the most popular guy in her class. Everybody loves him. And he has just broken up with his girlfriend Genevieve. So they come up with a kind of a contract to fake date each other so that Peter can make Genevieve a little bit jealous and think about what she's done and try and win him back. They then start to fall for each other properly. They spend a lot more time together because they haven't really seen each other a lot in the last couple of years. And I absolutely adore this book. It's one of the best comfort reads that you can find. And I love just flicking through it or watching the Netflix series and just rediscovering Lara Jean and her friends. Lara Jean is one of those characters that I wish I could be friends with. I feel like we would get on really well. And also the fake dating in this book is done super well. You really get to see Lara Jean and Peter kind of grapple with their feelings for each other and discover that they really do like each other on an actual level. But I will say that in this particular book, I did not love the third act breakup conflict. However, overall, one of the sweetest fake dating stories you are ever going to experience. If one of your favorite movies is Pretty Woman, you are really going to enjoy The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. This one does have fake dating into it, but it's more so a kind of reverse of Pretty Woman. You're following Stella, who is working in STEM. She is autistic and she hasn't ever really been in a proper romantic relationship before. She's not entirely sure she'd be very good at it. She's not sure that she's a very strong kisser. She's not sure that she's great in bed. So she goes to an escort service and hires one of the escorts to teach her how to be a good girlfriend, how to be good in bed, how to have all of those experiences that she feels she's missed out on. The person that she hires is Michael, who is an escort, and he takes her under his wing, shows her how to perform in the bedroom, how to be a good date, and of course they start to fall for each other. This book is phenomenal. The fake dating in here, I feel, is a little bit more subtle than the other books that I would have put onto this list, but it's still really well done. As I said, it's got the reverse Pretty Woman trope, and I feel like that was also done really well. But something that I really champion about this book is that it has phenomenal representation in it. Both of the characters here are Asian American. It's a woman working in STEM. You've got a character who is on the autistic spectrum. There is so much that I love about this book that I absolutely knew I wanted to continue with the series, which I did. And the second book, The Bride Test, is also a fake dating trope in a way. In this one, you are following Kai, who is Michael's cousin and is also on the autism spectrum. His mother has noticed that, again, he's not having a whole lot of experience, of success in relationships. So she kind of gets him a mail order bride. She meets a woman in Vietnam named Esme and brings her to the US as a potential bride for her son. Then Esme and Kai kind of get to know each other. They really move into the one house instantly. And there's a whole lot of angst. There's a really great slow burn romance. I really enjoyed this one. It's got some phenomenal steamy scenes in here. It's also got some really great representation of, as I've said, Asian American characters who actually are Asian themselves, autism representation. I feel like everything in here was written really, really well and with a whole lot of respect and research gone into it. There you have it. Those are some of my books with the fake dating trope in them. Are there any of these that are on your favorites list, or have I missed out your favorite altogether? Don't forget to like and subscribe because I have new videos up every week. Now, get on out of here.